Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Zombies Love Bacon podcast. This is episode 28, season 2. I am Aladi, or most people call me Zombies Love Bacon. I am your host, and I am joined today by Shelby.
Hello, it is me. I'm back. Can't get rid of me.
No one tried to get rid of you.
Good, because I would crush that campaign down. Can't get rid of me. So this is a hostile takeover.
That's right. There's a campaign to get rid of Shelby.
Yeah. Stop protesting.
Change.org, something like that. But yeah, hi, welcome. How's your week been?
My week's my work week was crap because that's how work is. But my weekend's actually been pretty good because we did go out yesterday and buy things, which I'm a big fan of buying things.
Big fan of shopping. Money. Yeah.
Big fan of shopping. And then today we pulled apart our house, tortured ourselves for a few hours, and put it back together in a slightly different order so that I can be more comfortable. So
wasn't even planned. And we didn't think about the way in which we record the podcast. So if you hear some kind of echo, that's something we eventually. It's fine.
We're working on it. We live in a shoebox, you know.
We certainly do.
That poor content creator life, you know.
But in other news, I am officially on holidays. That's right. I don't have to fucking think about work for 3 more weeks. And I got to tell you, I left in a horrible fashion. Like usually I'm pretty damn good, but I was so burnt out. It's like all the tasks that I need to get done before I leave, and like out of office email and stuff like that. I just wrote out of office.
Oh.
That's it. Like, that'll do. Fuck it. I'm out.
This is where we differ. So it's you're going on your PAX sabbatical, but not too long ago, I went on leave from my job. However, they hired somebody like from within the company temporarily to fill my position because apparently the work I do is so important, despite the fact that they don't respect it.
Yeah, well, anyway. They don't even hire it for me. So it's like I didn't have anyone to hand over to. So I quite literally was just like, just do it up to a level, and they'll be like, okay, well, I've done. I've prepped this much. Surely they can't break it too much in 3 weeks.
Well, I wrote a guide on how to do my job. And I gave that to the person who was taking over for me. And I'm not a big fan of the person who was taking over for me. So I wanted to make it idiot proof. I wrote everything I do every day, how to do everything, links to my spreadsheets, whatever it was, sent it to them. And I came back and they still managed to break it. So you can prepare as much as you want, but I just don't think it.
I'm happy for it to burn down. It just cements my needed for that role even further. They can't fire me. But anyway, so yeah, I'm on holidays. I still feel extraordinarily burnt out from work. So hopefully next few days, I feel a bit better. And then
you have to then become very run down through PAX.
And then PAX.
You're a busy boy.
Yeah.
You're a busy boy.
PAX is, yeah. I think my thoughts and feelings on PAX has always been you buy the tickets, you go, and you do whatever you want to do. And if you're tired or uncomfortable or don't want to do it anymore, then don't do it and just go home. Like, because people go, oh, I must be at PAX. I must see everybody. I must do everything. And then they always either get burnt out or they get those post-con blues when they're like, I didn't get to see half the people I thought I was going to see. So I always went in with like
with no expectations.
Zero expectations. Just wing it. It's in fun. It'll work out fine. Not this year. My God, if I fuck up my scheduling, I'm fucked.
This is the first time that I've ever been to a convention where I have made at least some semblance of a schedule, and I'm not nearly as busy as you are.
You had a media pass last time.
I didn't make a plan. I had a media pass. This is probably why they didn't give me a media pass this time. They're
I
like,
wouldn't
that
give you
bitch,
a media pass. Fucking hell.
She wasn't, she didn't even have an account on our app or anything.
God damn.
Last time I just sort of floated around and did what I want. I had one meeting, but that was like a lunch thing. We just caught up with some people. And I had an interview. I conducted an interview with one of the devs from Samurai Punk, I want to say. But ultimately, I'm more prepared this time.
I'd love to do some of that shit. And like, we haven't really planned out what we're doing. But apart from we are recording the podcast at 4 p.m. on Friday. From the Shure booth. I think it's Shure. It's in the near the auditorium with the.
I have to bring up my app because I'm organized.
Yeah, bring up the app because I don't want to give the wrong information.
Excellent.
Can't remember that, but anyway, we're with the booth with Are You Okay? Are You Okay is supporting us as part of a charity campaign with those guys. We're trying to raise money with them. But apart from booking the booth and the fact that I'm going to be there and you're going to be there, we haven't really organized much more for that podcast.
No, not at all.
I'd love to get someone who we normally wouldn't have access. Just come and jump on the podcast with us, And there's a few names in my mind and stuff like that. And I might send a few cheeky DMs. But what I was going to say is this is the first time for me as a creator, and I hate that term. I hate influencer, I hate creator. All that sort of stuff. No, as Zemo would say, I'm influenced.
Yep.
It's the first time I've had to like correspond with these people before the event and try and organize stuff between TeamOCE, between dealing with the guys from PAX themselves, plus GGWP and Are You Okay? I gotta say, some people, it's no hate. I understand there's a lot going on, but some people just need to get their shit together. Sooner rather than later.
Some of the people in high organizational positions are very hard to get a hold of, and
not only that, it's just sometimes like booking stuff, and you're like, okay, well, we need this and this and this, and they go, yeah, cool, and they'll give you like half of what you asked for. It's like, okay, cool. Having half is as good as nothing. It's like you're not helping. They obviously didn't read the email. They just skimmed it and went, oh yeah, it's close enough. You can throw it away to you. That's fine. Having said that, shout out to particularly the guys from GGWP. Fucking, they're organized. Like Fed in particular, I've been dealing with Fed and man, just gets shit done.
Some could argue that he's too prepared because he bought too many tickets.
Well, he brought the tickets. Okay, so he brought tickets so that he can put together what he's put together. So the booth, the streaming booth, and all that sort of stuff. Because he said, like, he messaged me. He said, "Do you need a ticket? 3-day ticket?" Blah blah blah. And I'm like, A, I brought a ticket. B, I got a influencer badge. And so see, I don't need your ticket, man. Give it to someone else. And it's the same. It's probably streamers and content creators. It's like 50-50. Half of them are organized and half of them are hot mess. Hot mess people. If you didn't know you were getting a ticket to PAX 2 weeks out, then what are you doing organizing yourself to be at PAX? So if we knew earlier, then it would be like, yeah, sweet, we'll take that ticket. But most of us are already prepared because it's PAX and we're going to get our ducks in a row. Having said that, he's not just going to sit on those tickets. He's going to give them away and he's using them and whatever, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's
so for those wondering exactly where we are, we'll be at Jan's Streamland, JANDS.
Yeah, so Jan's are like, I don't want to say commercial, but like high spec media equipment. It mentioned that a lot of their gear is Pioneer, for example.
Well, so hopefully next podcast that you guys listen to will
sound
really
completely different. Guaranteed.
So it will sound really sexy.
Yeah. None of this fucking homebrew Discord microphone.
And I'll be trying to shove some of the gear in my purse on the way out. It's
hopefully get a sponsorship. It was actually interesting because there's a fair few podcasts and stuff. We're going to talk about PAX a lot next week, so I don't want to talk about too much today. But and maybe this is a great segue into we can follow up at the PAX. But PAX is different this year in a lot of aspects. But in the big aspect is that the big boys in terms of gaming aren't here. So your Nintendo, your Xbox, your PlayStation.
Nintendo aren't doing anything because I remember the 2018 and 2019, they had like a huge Nintendo booth.
PlayStation the same. And then even our friends that play on, they're like, we don't have a booth. Some of our games are on the floor, but we don't have a booth. Corsair, don't have a booth. Not
That's
coming.
Wild.
Yeah. All these, and the reason I bring these up is because they were massive booths at the previous ones. Massive.
Yes, massive. Like you could spot them from across the entire building.
Having said that, I remember the first PAX. They had lots of like mediocre, medium build sort of things. I don't think PlayStation was there if they were very small. Xbox was there, but they were showing off their Xbox One for the first time. Was there. But then they had League of Legends took up about a third of the arena. And they had like a stage and everything. And World of Tanks took up a third of the arena. And they had, and this is a while ago. This is nearly 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They had tanks, like actual full-size tanks.
Actual full-size tanks.
Yeah, and then bikini models on them.
I think even PAX 2019, there was a giant crashed airplane, which was PUBG, I think.
That was PUBG, yeah.
And 2018 PUBG was a double-story like arena where you'd go and play the console version and fight.
I didn't trust anything that just gets assembled to have double stories. I ain't going up there.
I went up there. I was up there.
Oh my God.
And it held me. So,
So again, we'll follow this up next week when we're actually at PAX and we have a bit more clarity to it. But certainly it feels like there's a lot more PC manufacturers, PC brands, and indie games and publishers and stuff like that are going to be there. But all the big boys and that are just not there. And
look, it's fine if there's no big boys. There's one booth that we all want to go to, and that's Sonic Frontiers. That's it.
Sega is there. Yeah. Final Fantasy is going to be there in a big way as well. Which, yeah, it's I don't know. I think from my perspective, I always wanted, it was always my chance to go to a big boys booth, like go to a PlayStation. And like last time I got to spend some time with PlayStation, and it was really good. Like we went behind closed doors, had little demos and stuff like that, and they showed a lot of games and stuff like that. And I can kind of go, okay, well, these are the games I'm getting for PlayStation. These are the ones I can stream, I know straight away. And they had a lot of, not like they're Sony published games, but they're indie games. And they were, like, there was a few there that I'm like, oh my God, I've never heard of this before. And this is great. And it's similar to, like, we talked about OFK being a fantastic thing. I wouldn't have known about that unless PlayStation had a hand in publishing it on the PlayStation and bringing it to PlayStation.
Exactly.
And I mean, that's a big game for both of us this year. So, yeah, so it's from that perspective, I'm a little bit upset, but also I think the shift from PAX, and this is where I say it's sort of come to be a little bit different, because it used to be the big boys and the indies come under one roof, and maybe they'll get together and make a baby, and their indies will end up on Xbox Game Pass sort of thing, you know? Where now it's more about the indies and the community will get together.
Yeah, because the I mean, especially in Melbourne, but the Australian like game dev community is kind of being propelled with lots of grants and stuff at the moment, and government is really sinking a lot of energy into it.
That's part of, and like I've had the luxury of meeting a lot of people from Film Vic just through friend of a friend for the scenario, and we used to catch up for lunch on the Friday, and part of would have lunch and we'll talk about how the day went beforehand, because on Thursday night they have a mixer, and the point of that is to get the big boys and the indies together to make some magic happen.
Yeah.
And then as a result, half of them would be hungover come even Friday morning. And then after lunch, he'd go and he would actually take us around the indie booth, all the ones that were paid by the government, basically, and just introduce me to them and say, you know, this guy's a gamer, he's into it and stuff like that. And I'd ask him a few questions and I'd meet him. And it was a really cool thing. But they've always done that. But I suppose the different thing, and keeping in mind, it was 2019, the last PAX. The different thing now is we've had some wins, like some big wins. World stage win. You know, Cult of the Lamb is like national newsworthy.
They have a booth. I didn't see them on the list the other day, but they've been added as an exhibitor.
They had the other one, the game you haven't played yet, the farming witch one.
Wildflowers.
Wildflowers has been propelled in the mainstream media as well because of, you know, what's going on. So they're getting some, but I suppose the difference is that now they got some bigger players. They're starting to see some bang for their buck. All of a sudden, it's worth being more involved in, because PAX is part of Melbourne International Games Week.
Yes.
Sort of the finale of it, if you like. So there's a whole industry week of stuff happening around Melbourne. So you can go as far in as you want, you know, in depth to it. So there's a lot going on. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. Come next week, we'll have a much clearer picture of what's going on.
Yeah, I will definitely be lurking around all the indie stuff as the indie gremlin that I am. And I've already followed all of them on Twitter. Like I've already made friends with some of the devs, so I'm excited. Definitely should be fun. On the other side of things, I've managed to score myself, and it's just between me and you guys because it's all a bit hush hush at this point. But by next week it'll be fun. But I'll be playing some Skull and Bones. Skull and Bone.
Skull and Bones.
I've only got one bone. Sorry.
A game that I feel like I've been talking about since 2013.
I think you have been, and definitely exciting. And I'm sad that I can't go with you, but should. But you will have to report back.
Man, they messaged me and I'm just like, hell yes, I'd love to go, please.
So they reached out to you first?
Yes.
Wow, you're on the radar. Look at you.
I got on the
radar. What an influencer.
Woo, finally. Oh, gross. I hope they probably, you know what? They probably did pull it off the influencer list. Yes. I did check though. Like I checked a few mates at a media, not invited.
Interesting. Maybe it's because we went to the Ubisoft event.
It could be that. Like it could literally be that. Like they do follow me ever since I won a competition on their Twitter a long time ago. They do follow me. So
yeah, I like how you won a competition on their Twitter, then you weaseled your way into going.
Did I ever tell you how I won the competition?
No.
All right, so it was For Honor was the game.
Yeah.
And they said in 20 characters or less or whatever, describe For Honor, and I drew a shield out of sword and shield emojis and just sent them that.
Wow.
And I won. That was a while ago. That was a big deal for me. I'm like, holy shit. I don't even think I was affiliated at that point.
I like how, you won that, and like Ubisoft followed you forever ago to send you whatever.
Yeah.
And then you weaseled your way using this into the Ubisoft event, and then you won an Xbox.
It's true. Yeah.
They're gonna invite you to the Skull and Bone event. There'll be like a door prize and you'll win it. They'll be like, this guy again.
I'm legitimately excited for that game though. Like I'm legitimately excited.
It looks like obviously Black Flag is
Is
Ubisoft and
where it's coming from.
it makes you think about it a lot. But then also like there's like bits of like Sea of Thieves in there and also like a bunch of other
It's delayed to next
established
year
pirates.
too. So let's not get too excited.
It's unfortunate, yes, but yeah, it does definitely it does tickle me.
Yeah.
I am excited.
So yeah. So anyway, we'll cover off PAX next week. I'm hoping to get 1 or 2 more guests to get on. So hopefully.
I'm gonna drag some people into the booth. I'm gonna
Just drag someone. Just like someone
drag
that
'em.
like you only know from Twitter. Just be like, yo, you want to be in
Put
a
them in the sleeper
podcast?
hole, drag them in.
Yeah. We're gonna be talking games and shit anyway. Let's be honest.
If you end up at the handheld lounge, which is next to the Jan's Streamland, I might kidnap you.
we're a short walk from the Voodoo Ranger bar.
Are we?
Yeah, it's around the other side of
There's
the
a
auditorium. The bar.
Oh, I didn't know there was a bar on site. That's awesome.
But yeah, speaking of creators and influencers, have you ever, and look, we're all a little bit guilty. I know I have done this, but have you ever streamed and then realized you're muted?
I have done it only once.
For how long? How long did it take you to notice?
10 minutes. This is back when I used to have a lot of mods and like people I no longer keep in touch with, and not for any fault of theirs or anything. We just like fell apart when I stopped streaming. But I was muted for like 10 minutes once, and that was embarrassing. And I know you've done it for a lot longer.
I've streamed an entire stream muted.
When?
Before I was affiliated. I think I was playing Sword Art Online actually. And I remember that the people came into the chat and they talked to me. And I talked to them. And they didn't say shit. I was muted I watched the VOD. You can hear the game. You can't hear me. You can see me looking and talking and stuff and waving my arms around. Nothing. Anyway, that's not the reason why I brought it up. I don't want to talk about me. You could fucking host this podcast or some shit. I want to talk about Paramore.
Paramore?
Yeah, the band Paramore. You know Paramore?
Yeah. No, I love Paramore.
You love Paramore? You heard they're coming back?
Yes, and Haley is dating one of the band members.
Yeah, brand new album. Yeah.
I'm excited.
You're excited? Did you see that they premiered a brand new film clip? Well,
I haven't seen that yet. I saw it come up the other day. You know, when you do it in the middle of doing something, you see a tweet and you're like, I need to watch that later, and then you forget.
You should have tuned in because they had a one-off super special live stream counting down to the release of the brand new film clip.
What?
Yep.
I missed out.
Yeah, thousands of people tuned in.
Dang.
Yeah. They were on mute.
They were on mute? Were people telling them?
Yes.
And they didn't fix it?
Nope. I don't think they were reading chat. I think maybe it could have been pre-recorded for all we know, but the entire live stream chat is just like, we can't hear you. They're just sitting on a couch talking and you can't hear them.
Yeah, somebody needs to get fired. That's awful. That's so bad. Everyone would have been so pumped. Like, Paramore's coming back,
and
baby.
The stream just ends. That's it. They'll never know what they said.
It's a secret now.
Oh man,
my God, that's
not only
bad.
that. I tried to find some news articles and gossip. There's plenty of like blogs and stuff who mentioned it, and I saw it on TikTok as well. So I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. It fucking happened, right? There was some posts that I like bookmarked on Reddit. They've all been removed by moderators.
Oh,
like they're trying to cover this up. It's like it's very embarrassing. Honestly, I think it was they pre-recorded something backstage somewhere, and they just hit play on it, and they just had it muted. I didn't realize. No, I was watching chat.
So embarrassing.
Like when it's me and it's 2 people streaming, right, that's fine. Me, not an expert. Paramore is a musician.
They hired somebody to help them with that live stream.
That's a marketing company.
Paid money.
It's a marketing company. They got fired.
Yeah. I like though that you mentioned before Sword Art Online. You were streaming it and you were muted. And I know it's kind of a pivot, but I want to talk real quick about, have you seen the new VR chat world that is Sword Art Online?
I have. Of course I have.
It's called Argus.
Yeah.
Okay. For those who don't know, because there's been a lot of buzz about it last week or so, because they've released a lot more footage. There was some YouTubers went and had a look. It's called Argus, and it is a full recreation of
You've watched the show. What's Argus?
I can't remember what Argus is.
Yeah, Argus is like the developer, the publisher.
That's what I thought.
I didn't want to.
Yeah. So anyway, they're called Argus VRC on Twitter. And the cool thing about this, and obviously VR chat sort of similar to Roblox in the sense of like you can create whatever worlds, whatever mini games, you can sort of work with it. Especially they released a lot of new features under a framework update. I think it's called Udon. years ago. So there's been a lot of really dynamic stuff done. What's different about Argus is it actually saves your progress in the VRchat world, and you can come back to it anytime. This is something VRchat does not natively do, and no other worlds or developers have this feature. So you can actually go into Sword Art Online, you can play, you can fight, you can do whatever, and your progress is legitimately saved. It's in terms of, like, I know obviously saving your game has been a thing.
Yeah, but it's also they're faithfully recreating Sword Art Online as if it is a real game.
The UI, everything, all the movements, everything in it is so faithful.
You know what the icing on the cake is? Is that Ampilex, the people that make Sword Art Online. Aniplex, that's the one. Sorry, they teamed up with VRchat to do a Sword Art Online world last year, and it was garbage.
It was garbage. These guys are doing
it was just a map.
Honestly,
just walk around in your fucking weird ass VRchat skins. Yeah.
They probably saw, like, these guys probably saw that and was just like, we can do it better as well.
Oh, these guys have been working on it for ages, and their aim has always been to marry up when Sword Art Online comes out, like in real life, at the same time and date and stuff like that. It's a whole thing. It's cool. I'm cool.
I'm on board. This will make me get into VRchat again.
Yeah, I mean, Sword Art Online, they're doing the what's it called? The Asuna based ones.
Yeah, the film, like, redo of the original series. Yeah.
So they got that movie. I think is coming out in Japan like now this month. I think.
So we should be seeing it in a few months.
We'll see it in like April next year. Yeah. Providing that, you know what, I'm not going to shit on Crunchyroll anymore. You can look up Crunchyroll in the news and see what they've done wrong now. What have they done wrong now? I saw some stuff, but I didn't see, like, is there something about not paying the voice actors? Yeah. So there's, like, it's all a bit of hearsay and back and forth, and
they don't pay their dub actors much.
It's they don't encourage people to be unionized. Apparently, people have been moved on because they opted for what they'd be if I'd continued to work with them if they were part of a union, and they just opted to not, even though they'll just sit you.
And they go for the non-union.
And then there was the whole thing of one of the actresses from Mob Psycho season 3, which starts soon, which is a big thing. Got paid like $150, and that's it.
Holy shit!
No residuals, stuff like that. And then there's people that have come out and things like the can't remember. It's like anime movies, not Demon Slayer. It was like Kaizen, I think was the last one.
Oh, Kaizen no Jutsu.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Like they were saying that they got paid like $1,000.
That's ridiculous.
And that movie also banked. Like it got big bank.
It did. Yeah. And if you go back and you look at all the stuff from many years ago now, where voice actors in the video game community, there was a huge thing about it. And like,
I mean, they were all part of the writer strike as well.
How do they not learn? How do people not?
Anyway,
learn?
Like I said, I don't want to harp too much on about it because I've only seen bits and pieces and I haven't seen anything like official back and forth.
If you're interested, Google is free. Look it up.
The one thing I will say is, like, don't get caught up in the, like, people are like, yo, we shouldn't watch Mob Psycho, we shouldn't watch Crunchyroll. You do whatever you want to do. Don't you know? Just they'll figure it out. And I think the big thing, and there's some great TikToks, is people don't realize about residuals. Look, residuals is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people in TikTok who are like E grade actors, right? They voiced a line in fucking Powderpuff Girls or whatever. They get residuals. And what that means is that every time that someone plays that episode that they voiced, that might have been even for 2 minutes, whatever, they might get $14. Like they'll get a check for $14 residuals. So these guys have complete TikTok channels now where they just go, all right, we got 15 checks today. Let's see what people were watching. And they'll be like, oh, that's that episode of King of the Hill I did. This is that one line that I did in this fucking obscure freaking Spanish whatever show. Stuff like that. They get residuals. A lot of these anime people do not. They get $150 and told, thanks for your service. Goodbye.
Yeah. There's this amazing post in Our Filmmakers, which is great. And it says, I'm sorry for all of y'all who can't make it in Hollywood. Why? Today I received another residual check for a film I was in years ago. It's great to make the big bucks. And it's 0.01 cents.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But you imagine, like, if you star in 40 episodes and film whatever shows and whatever, you get residuals for the rest of your life. It's not, you're never going to make big bang. And I mean, one guy in particular I see on TikTok all the time. It's always, all right, are we having McDonald's for dinner or are we having steak? And they open it up. It's like, McDonald's it is. It's great. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about, I didn't want to talk too much about shitting on Crunchyroll because I really like what Crunchyroll is doing in terms of making anime mainstream, and it's obviously very popular. The festival proved that. They need to sort out getting people paid though. That's
Yes, and definitely Google it, look into it. Ultimately, we don't have all the information.
yeah. Maybe we do on a future episode once once a bit more comes out of it. Maybe there'll be a statement or whatever. But until
I
then,
feel like this is a good time we can talk about an anime we watched.
we can talk about an anime that's, I don't know if it's just my algorithm, but my God, it's taking the world by storm.
I actually haven't seen much on TikTok about it.
Oh my God, I could show you something on TikTok.
You'll have to send it to me. But
Okay, anyway.
we're talking about Edgerunners.
Fucking
the Cyberpunk
Edgerunners, which is Netflix, by the way, and Trigger Animation, who did things like Darling of the Franxx and a couple other. They did Promare, the movie as well.
Promare, I loved Promare, and they did the Star Wars show.
So, funny enough, I went to the premiere of Promare at what used to be Anime Fest. So there you go. Anyway, it's Cyberpunk Edgerunners. It's based in the Cyberpunk world. It's not like a retelling of the game. This exists alongside the game in that world. This is a prequel in ways. Like it was set beforehand, but it doesn't actually tie in any way.
It's only like a couple years before. It's like 2 years or something.
Yeah, but it doesn't tie in any way to it. You don't see Keanu Reeves pop up or anything like that. There's nothing like that. They don't do that stupid Marvel Star Wars thing where they're like, yo, look at this. It's an Easter egg. Do you like Easter eggs? You like Easter eggs, don't you? No, they don't do any of that. There's Easter
only
eggs there.
one point of actual crossover, which is a character, and that's it.
Yeah, which we'll talk about that later because there's a reason, and I'll get to that. Anyway, it's rating its ass off. We talked about how people been really hyping it up last podcast, and we sat down and we watched it, and gotta say, it's a 10 out of 10 from me.
I loved it.
It's like a couple of people who don't watch anime have watched it. Their comment to me is like, oh, it's slow in parts. I'm like, it's not though. It's actually really well paced.
It is.
If it went the full pace the entire time, you would die.
And absolutely, I stand by this. And like, you can look at Studio Trigger's previous work, and they're like masters of color and lighting, and like their use of it is incredibly different to anything else in anime. And like, they have a very you can spot them from a mile away. It's very unique and very beautiful. And they were 100% the right choice for something in a cyberpunk universe because of all the neon lighting, and it's just so good.
What I would say, it actually makes Cyberpunk the game look boring.
It does.
It really does. The show makes Night City look like the craziest motherfucking place where going out is like a 50-50 chance you're just going to get your head splattered and no one cares.
Or there's some guy like whacking off on the side of the street.
Or just pissing.
Yeah, just pissing. Like cyber psychos on the side of the street. Like crazy stuff.
It's added an entire new layer to the game and everything about Night City, and it makes me and look, you know, full transparency, Cyberpunk is now its highest peak now than it's ever been. And it's straight off the back of the show. People are watching this going, holy shit, I love this. I need more of this. I need more Cyberpunk Edgerunners.
And it made people who already had played it go back as well and notice, hey, they actually did a lot of updates.
So they did, they did a massive patch to fix things as they do, and a lot of balancing, added a lot of new content and stuff like that. And they also pumped in a heap of Easter eggs into the game to line up with
about the anime. Like you can get their outfits and stuff like that.
The guns. And a lot of people go to like the place, like they recreated Night City faithfully. Like you can go to all the places and stuff like that. And this is based on like Cyberpunk's like almost like a Dungeons and Dragons, like a lore-based, you know, what do they call it? Like a text game sort of thing from ages ago.
Yeah.
And you know, they obviously been working. I think they announced Cyberpunk the same time they announced Skull and Bones.
Oh my god, so long ago.
I think it was 2013 as well.
Yep.
And you know, it took them forever to find their feet and come out, and then it was a hot mess when it came out because, you know, they got all the lore and all the characters and everything done, but they didn't get the game right. And now the game's getting good. It's, you know, it's much more improved. And then they bring out a show like this, where the show itself, like you don't have to play the game, and you go through the show, and it's like, holy shit, the fucking wild ride. And the Triggers credit, they've stuck by their guns and have made it very Trigger-esque. And you know, it's a bit crazy, a bit out there, a bit fucking what the fuck's going on in moments, and in other moments it's just quite stunning and quite beautiful and really well done. The story, they don't try to do too much. They do just enough, and they leave a few questions burning, which is nice. You know, this sort of like, oh, what's the motive? And like, you know, sometimes they explain it to you. Sometimes they just go move on because something else crazy happens, and you're like, whatever.
And I think like it's also good to point out like Netflix's original animes or things that they're publishing. They're doing some good stuff.
Hey, look, Netflix. That's not. I don't want to shit on Netflix, but like their anime stuff, they're just paying the right people to make the right stuff, which is good.
Yeah.
It's drawing in a particular audience, and it's making them money, whatever else. Some of their movies is garbage that they make, like their Netflix original movies, but their anime, particularly their video game anime stuff, is good. And look, Trigger's the right choice. Castlevania was really good. I really enjoyed it. I haven't been up to date with Castlevania lore forever, but fuck, man, watching that show, I'm like, these characters are fun. I'm like, these characters are these characters in the game, because these characters are fun. I really I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good, but Edgerunners is like
next level.
It's like it makes me hard. No, it's simple. It's really gets me going, and it's good. It's good. And that's probably a really wrong phrase. It's right up my alley. Right? It
tickles you.
It tickles me fine. The only reason I say it's not probably the wrong thing is I've seen so much fan art and stuff from the Edgerunners, and they put less and less.
Are you looking at hentai? Is that
no?
Yeah,
it's like a low key geeks, for example. They always take a prominent character and put them in a skinny bikini, whatever else. They'd not mess around putting Lucy in a bikini and putting her on a t-shirt. No, it's like it's and what I was going to say, because remember we mentioned that there was a lot of discussion around from CG Project Red making the Cyberpunk creators and Trigger and like how it should look and feel and stuff like that. And they came to agreements. There was some wins and losses on both fronts. There was one character in particular that CD Projekt Red were not on board with, but Trigger said, "Nah, trust us. We're doing the right thing."
Who?
No, I want you to guess.
Oh.
One of the main characters.
Let's say main crew.
Yeah, main crew.
Rebecca being
the
small crazy one.
The lolly, yeah. Trigger's like, no, you need that. That's an anime staple.
And everyone got really attached to her, just like they were right.
She's crazy. Yo, she's crazy. I love her.
You can get her gun in the game right now.
She's just fucking. She's probably one of the most dangerous of the crew and easily the smallest and
most underestimated.
But also, like, just her attitude is so carefree while mowing people down. So yeah. Anyway, so it's a completely standalone sort of stuff. Once you finish it, it's done. I think it's 10 episodes, something like that.
It is, yeah.
And it was really, really good.
Check out some other.
Well, what I was going to say is, if you want more, the music video for that is actually a prequel to the TV show. It's a 5-minute long animation
prequel of the prequel
that tells of one of the other Netrunners that were part of the crew originally and her story, basically. Extremely beautiful. Again, I don't know if that was Trigger as well, but holy shit.
Probably was. I think it was.
What it does tell me is that they could tell more stories in this world. Like, this world has so much to give. They could tell more stories. And
they'd be silly not to do another thing.
Yeah.
They're probably going to do something else.
So I wanted to talk about, and this is minor spoiler. It's very minor. Okay. Very minor. But in the show and in the game, there's one character that crosses over, which is Adam Smasher, who you meet quite early in the game. He's the big, bulky bodyguard who's more metal than man.
Yeah.
And anyway, he's a villain in the show as well. So I started off with a news article, totally innocent news article. They're like, yo, people were taking out their frustrations on the enemies from the show with the one guy that they can, and they're going into the game and beating the crap out of Adam Smasher.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I saw this other TikTok where they modded the game so that Adam Smasher is one of the strippers that you can take home and have sex with.
That's a very different way of handling.
It's a very, very full frontal, very confronting session with Adam Smasher. Bit of smashing, if you like.
They don't mess around with those stripping scenes, because I can imagine. And like, I'm also, I saw same sort of thing. One of the official tweets from the Cyberpunk account was just like, go play Cyberpunk and go beat up Adam Smasher. So they're definitely encouraging it.
The community and the fan art and everything else, the reception's been A+. There's so much just like different stylized fan art, cosplay now. I'm seeing a lot of good cosplay as well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people rocking the jacket, the main yellow jacket from the show. Fantastic. And look, all I can say is, if you were at all a fan of Cyberpunk in any way, watch the fucking show. If you're a fan of anime, also watch the fucking show. If you're a fan of decent TV and don't want to watch 16 seasons of something, also watch the fucking show. In my opinion, this year, if I think about it, and I'm including all the Marvel shit and the Star Wars shit, this is my favorite show this year.
Really?
Well, what else was there? The next closest would be The Boys. But you know what? There's a lot of fucking parallels between the two.
And you've enjoyed The Boys for several years now, so.
But it's not even that. Like, The Boys gets better every year.
It does.
It really does.
And I was just gonna say as well, like if you wanted to look at other Netflix original animes that are decent, like Komi Can't Communicate is a really good slice of life anime that I really.
Well, that's
enjoy.
not an original. That's based.
It's a Netflix original. Well, it's Netflix produced.
Yeah, no, but it's based on a manga. Like they're just turning it into an anime.
Yeah, they still call them Netflix.
Yeah, well,
originals.
Castlevania is being written and made for Netflix. Edgerunners was written and made for Netflix.
Yes.
Comic can communicate. It's just getting done. It's the same as Seven Deadly Sins is also Netflix. They brought the rights to that.
Yeah, and then there's Agretsuko, which I think was
That is a Netflix one.
Was that always Netflix?
I don't know, actually. No, I think that might have been a manga first.
I did watch a movie as well called A Whisker Away. That was Netflix. That was weird. You did. He turns into a cat, and like she turns into a cat.
If you liked the Edgerunners though, Promare is a movie. It's pretty much Trigger got a heap of money and went and did Trigger things, and they quite literally, I think they literally call, like there's a moment where, you know, they just get a win out of nowhere and they call it the Deus Ex Machina, which is what they refer to it in the industry as anyway. It's very tongue in cheek. It's very cute, and then just fucking great action.
Yeah,
and soundtrack. It's so good. So
they're
definitely
responsible for obviously Darling in the Franxx we mentioned.
Yeah, they also did
the Stocking.
They did the Star Wars Visions. They have episodes in that as well.
Yes.
So if you're into that really crazy kind of animation and stuff like that Trigger does, absolutely highly recommend those ones there. But yeah, it's pretty good.
Definitely.
Pretty damn good. It reminded me sort of like when I was growing up. There was this anime that came out and it kind of set the genre for a lot, and that was Ghost in the Shell. Like it came out and people were like, what the fuck is this? This is fucking wild.
My only ever experience with Ghost in the Shell is I played the PS1 game.
I thought you were going to say you saw the Scarlett Johansson movie.
No, God, no. I was warned about that.
You know what? I didn't hate the movie. But
really?
I didn't hate the movie. It's fun. But you know what? They just stuck very close to what the anime was, which was already a proper thing, which is the right thing to do when you don't know what you're doing, because they didn't know what they're doing. If you go back to Cowboy Bebop, for example, they tried to improve. You can't improve. You should have just fucking copied it.
They had a lot of visual moments that looked great and copied like. They
didn't copy it enough, and also,
but they didn't. They veered away and they made a mistake.
Not only that, and I don't give a shit if you're gonna watch it or not. It's been cancelled. Don't even bother with the live action shit. The show, the TV show is one season and a movie. Technically, right? The movie to finish it. The Netflix show, they introduced a main character in the last episode of the first season because they've fucking messed it up so badly that it got. They're like, yo, check out this character. Like that character's like introduced in episode 3. You know?
It's like thanks for that, thanks. And some of the characters get introduced way earlier than they should be as well.
They picked all the good bits and then added other bits, thinking they're making it better, and they just missed the mark. And if for people that were like are big fans of the anime, they're like, this is missing shit. You know, what's going on?
If you're doing an adaptation, you got to stick closer to the source material, because there are a bunch of many billions of nerds who will sit there and criticize everything that you've done.
Yeah.
And will usually not like it if you veered too far away.
Yeah, I mean, the Ghost in the Shell, the Scarlett Johansson thing, they had no chance because they whitewashed. I mean, their argument was that she's a robot, not, you know.
Yeah.
She's not meant to look Chinese or whatever. But should have just did it anyway, my dudes.
Yeah, like representation, I think, in something that is made and is like distinctly, obviously, like anime is a distinctly Japanese art form, and like
it's not even about that, right?
Yeah,
they grab star power, thinking they can propel a movie's marketing with star power,
rather than
And no, they should have made everyone Asian.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't have started that conversation because they're never going to win it. Like like I said, watching the movie, you'd never think about it. It's fun, but the amount of people that didn't watch that movie because of the hate train that it got, that's
insane.
Anyway, it is
very much.
It is. We are hitting peak anime season, by the way. New My Hero Academia today.
Ooh.
Also new Spy versus whatever. What is the other one?
Spy versus Family.
Spy Family. Also today. Couple others, but we'll probably wait till there's a few episodes out before we watch it all. But
I do want to like touch on, and I know you haven't really seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, as in the show, But Netflix is doing a
I did see
live
that.
action one that actually looks good. And I saw a big sheet of like the casting that's come out for it.
Yep.
It's all on point. They are all so fucking good. But like a few good ones is I love Daniel Day-Kim, and he's playing Ozai, which is the major villain. And that's gonna be so fucking good. As well as Paul Sun Hyung Lee is playing Iroh. That's everyone loves Iroh. Iroh is everyone's uncle. And so that's going to be really good as well. There's just so many like new age appropriate actors that have been cast as well. Because obviously the main character is like 11 years old.
Yeah.
And the other character's like 14, 15, you know.
I just want to point out as well is Netflix is going in the long haul. They've already called it. So already ordered season 1. Then there's going to be multiple 10 episodes already lined up.
Oh yeah, they know this is going to be big.
If this goes well,
yeah,
Netflix have the rights to a lot of anime.
They do,
and a few things. Do you ever watch Altered Carbon?
No, but I know.
Do you know what Altered Carbon's about? Not the anime. This is a TV show. This is a Netflix made TV show. I don't know much about it. All right, because it starred sort of like a B cast to begin with, and then they had is it Anthony Mackie, the Falcon? He starred in the sequel season, which was okay. But basically, the whole process is that you person live in the cloud. You are in the cloud, right?
Oh, yep.
And if you die, like your person dies, you just download into a new body. You are in the cloud. That's it. So that's the whole thing. And then you follow these. I think they're detectives, but their whole thing is that someone not only killed someone, but they got the cloud as well. So they actually killed someone. But also you, the person, you're in your like 10th body. You're 1,000 years old now, something like that. You know, so it's very, you can't trust who's who. People downloading, they're cloning each other. Like you're not meant to have two bodies at once. Like you can't bring down your backup and load yourself up. Mm-hmm. But some of the rich people do that so they can fuck themselves and stuff like that. It's a little bit.
Right.
Anyway, Altered Carbon, the first season's really quite good. And they do this excellent thing where it's a huge, like, what the fuck is going on? And then about the second last episode, they almost turn around and look in the camera and say, okay, well, this is what's happening. And just explain it to you. And you go, oh, thank God. Thank you for explaining that to me. Yeah. Anyway, they tapped those guys on the shoulder and said, go work on Sword Art Online live action for Netflix. So, and they brought all the rights for it, and it went nowhere. Like it's gone nowhere yet. But Netflix still have the rights to it. Also have the rights to One Piece. They have the rights to Bleach.
Yeah.
We saw what they did with Death Note. Full Metal Alchemist, another one. They also brought the rights to a heap of Capcom games as well. There's a samurai one coming, which I forget what the name of it is.
I have no idea.
It was a very obscure, like a PlayStation 2 game or something. But they're turning it into a thing. They also have the rights to Pokemon.
They have a ton of Pokemon content on Netflix.
No, Pokemon live action. They have the rights to turn Pokemon into live action.
If they Detective Pikachu it, like I'm good with that.
Well, there's Detective Pikachu 2 coming eventually.
Yeah, well, true.
This is just Netflix have the right to it, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like if this Avatar goes well, I could see it
sparing off many things, and especially Avatar is a show that it itself has a sequel series, which is Korra, which is great. I don't know if you've seen. You haven't seen it, have you? Obviously you've got Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then you have Avatar: The Legend of Korra, and which is it's a slightly more mature.
I watched a bit of the original anime. Avatar didn't do it for me.
It can be very long, but when I was a kid and watching it on a weekly basis, I was watching this, and there was an anime. I think it wasn't so much an anime. I think it was made in Canada, but they had definitely a lot of anime styling, and it was about riding dragons and racing them. I can't remember what it's called, but I got a Dragon Boosters. Oh fuck, Dragon Boosters was so good.
Fucking name.
Oh my God, it was so good. I'm gonna just Google that right now to refresh my memory.
Anyway, we're at an age of where no one's coming up with original ideas. They're just going and digging into the pool.
I want a Dragon Booster revival. If you know what Dragon Booster is, I love you.
And look, we've mentioned it so many fucking times, and I like we even toyed around doing like a YouTube series around the amount of video games turn movies, turn TV show, turn etc.
Yeah.
I think Edgerunners has really blown the fucking door off the hinges. Not just opened it, they blew it off the fucking hinges.
And leading the way.
It's and like we talked about what's the one with the car racing with the clown? Twisted Metal.
Speed Racer? Oh.
Twisted Metal, that's done. That's in post-production. That's coming out soon. I think it's getting published by
and it's meant to be a comedy.
And what's his name? What's the fucking actor? Oh man.
Fuck. What's his name?
Fucking
Seth Rogen?
No, God, no.
Fuck.
Dirty Randy.
Anthony Mackie is in Twisted Metal.
No.
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett is is Sweet Tooth. He's the clown.
That's gonna be great.
That's gonna be fucking wild.
No, he's not. I just googled it.
He?
Samoa Joe is Sweet Tooth. He's a wrestler.
Oh,
And Will Arnett's role doesn't have a credit under it about who he's playing.
sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Let me see here. Will Arnett as the voice of Sweet Tooth, but Samoa Joe is the body of Sweet Tooth.
That's even better.
That's so much better. And the premise is a driver takes a job to deliver a package across a post-apocalyptic wasteland while being chased by marauders.
Fantastic.
So, sounds great. I loved playing Twisted Metal growing up. So
that's fucking wild.
That's a wild combo. So I just look at the picture of Samoa Joe. He's this big burly wrestler, Samoan guy.
Yeah, I know exactly who that is. He's a
Will
fucking...
Arnett. He's gonna open his mouth and Will Arnett's voice is gonna come out.
So wait, let's go through some stuff here because this is fucking great. All right. And remember, we did talk about this on the previous podcast that when we went to the Ubisoft thing, they are doing a ton of shit with Netflix.
Yes. Assassin's Creed TV show.
Et cetera. All right. So let me go through a few things here. I've got a list here which come up and fuck, man. Every time I look at this stuff, I go, oh yeah, that's a thing. Why is that a thing that we haven't heard about for a while? Why haven't we heard about the Borderlands movie?
Oh.
That they finished filming over a year ago.
Is that still happening?
Yeah, it's finished filming.
Oh, okay.
Where is it? What is it?
Good question.
When is it?
What did they do with it? Why is the editing taking so long?
All right, let's try and move through these a little bit quicker. So Dungeons and Dragons, the trailer dropped for that. That looks actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Honor Among Thieves, I believe it's called. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, they're pushing that bad boy. That's coming.
I'm excited for that.
Sonic and also
the 2 was great.
Is the Sonic the Hedgehog TV Netflix?
Yes.
I think they dropped a trailer for that recently as well. Or like a peek. Mario movie keeps getting delayed. That's meant to come out Christmas this year.
I'm not looking forward to that.
What do you mean? You don't like old mate? He's fucking Chris Pratt? It's me, Mario.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking forward to it.
Gran Turismo is also a movie coming.
Yep.
It's meant to follow. I don't know if it's true or not, but the synopsis said that it follows someone who plays a lot of video games, racing games, and then becomes a professional racer.
I don't like that.
Don't like that at all. They actually, I think it was, I can't remember the name of it, but there was a reality TV show where they got a heap of people who play Gran Turismo, and then eventually they went and got to race at Bathurst.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It was a I forget what the name of it, but it was a reality TV show. It was kind of whatever. Watching people play video games is what Twitch is for. Silent Hill movie is apparently coming in pre-production.
Is that still?
Minecraft movie. Bet we forgot about that one.
Is it animated? Assuming.
Yeah, I mean they announced it at like Minecon fucking so many years ago.
So many years ago. Yeah, that was ages ago.
That also reminds me Genshin Impact's getting an anime.
I'm not surprised there. That's really extremely popular.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch it because I'd rather watch it than play the game.
Untitled Beyond Good and Evil movie. Fucking finish the game you announced. I do think that was in 2013 as well.
What is it with these 2013 games?
The Division is currently being filmed for Netflix.
Yep. That reminds me of the one that we can talk about. Go on, keep going.
And then, and then Beyond Good and Evil, who's also Ubisoft, has got a partnership with Netflix as well. So that's fun. Firewatch, the movie deal that got sold the rights in 2020.
What?
Sniper Elite entered pre-production in 2021. Duke Nukem movie. Fuck yes. June 22nd, 2022 was announced. Just Cause movie. Also fuck yes. Entered pre-production March 2021. Mega Man. Brought by Netflix.
Impressive.
Metal Gear Solid. Oscar Isaac attached March 2022. I'd see that. I'd see Oscar Isaac in it.
Yeah.
That's I'll give that man a hand job. It's fucking
Yeah, sure. If you want.
Metro 2033 delayed to May 2021 to enter pre-production. I think that's going to get delayed a little bit for a while.
Yeah.
Gears of War movie entered pre-production March 2022. These are a lot of things that have been announced this year. Streets of the Rage, April 2022 announced. Dragon Lair, March, was announced in March from Netflix 2020. They got that as well. A sequel to Mortal Kombat went into pre-production January 2022.
I'm excited for that. We got to see the preview.
Yeah, we liked the first one. It was good.
Yeah.
Ark Survival Evolved
Yeah.
I wonder if that's going to have Vin Diesel in it, since Arc 2 was meant to have Vin Diesel in it. Also, Arc 2 was meant to come out this year. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
They'll put it into fucking early access for 20 years like they did with the first
They
one.
will.
Friday Night at Freddy's.
Really?
Delayed May 2022. What do you mean, really? You know how many
Why-
people
no
know the
one-
entire lore of Friday Night at Freddy's when they're freaking
Like all the
6 years
kids who-
old because
who-
they played in Roblox?
All the iPad kids who also watch all the YouTubers play it on repeat.
Sleeping
and, like,
Dogs, August 2021 was now sent. Sleeping Dogs is a fucking phenomenal story. That would be so good.
mm.
What the fuck? I missed this one. Portal.
Portal? Yeah, I think I heard something about that.
Attached with J.J. Abrams in 2021.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. That sounds great. Let's do it.
Space Invaders. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't see that going anywhere. Bioshock
Bioshock. Fucking oath.
on your mates at Netflix. That is in production.
Excellent.
They are filming that at the moment.
Wow.
I do believe I saw some leak shit on Reddit for that one. Oh my god, why? Just Dance, the movie.
Well, there's lore in Just Dance. Did you know?
No, and I don't care.
Oh, okay. Never mind. There's characters from a previous game that got together and they had a breakup, and there's the girls now like dancing
hate it
alone,
already.
and like there's like photos in the background of like the. Anyway, keep going.
Ghost of Tsushima, we knew that one was coming anyway.
Yeah, that's coming.
Writer was hired April 2022, so that's early pre-production. Call of Duty, they brought the rights to that fucking years ago. They did nothing with it. Untitled Tomb Raider movie, they don't know what to do with Tomb Raider.
They
cancelled the sequel to the last movie, which the last movie was good, but it was about an hour too short. And they cut out all the cult shit from the game, which was the interesting part of the game. They just went to an island, shot some guys, left the island. Boring as shit. They also left it open with like a post-credit scene for the sequel. They cancelled the sequel and then announced the sequel spin-off, and then they turned it into an anime, and now it's back to being a live action, from what I was told. So who fucking knows? Last heard of in July 2022. A couple more. Days Gone was announced in August. Pac-Man also announced in August. And The Mortuary Assistant is getting a movie.
What?
Yep.
That game only just came out.
And they just announced a movie. So
it's gonna be nothing like the game. The game, I can't see that translating to. There's a lot of lore in the game.
It'll be a B-grade horror movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, just to quickly wrap up, that's all the new shit that we know of, which most of it is in early pre-production. Will it come out? Will it not? Who knows? Things that are in production and
I was gonna say, do we want to address the elephant in the room? That trailer.
Hang on, hold up. We'll get to that in a sec.
I'm excited.
So, coming out still and in production. Season 3 of The Witcher is coming, which is great. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people were kind of 50-50, but Henry Cavill, I'll do more than hand stuff with him.
Me too.
Arcane Season 2 is coming. Have a look at what the developers and stuff are doing. They're doing like development blogs and stuff. It's fucking phenomenal, the amount of work and passion they put into that thing. Can't wait. Gonna watch it 7 times back to back when it comes out. Cuphead show. I haven't watched it actually, but Season 2 has been announced. It's coming to Netflix. Halo Season 2 also announced. Paramount Plus coming. That is happening. Resident Evil announced the Season 2, then promptly cancelled the entire show.
Oh no. Oh yeah, good.
I haven't watched this yet, but is on my list to watch, and probably will watch while I'm on holidays. Tekken Bloodline. Tekken is also a anime made for Netflix.
Wow.
Gonna announce Season 2. That's coming. They've got Edgerunners in here, but this article was from before it came out, so that's coming. Dragon Age Absolution, also coming to Netflix, animated as well. Spin-off live action The Witcher Blood Origin, coming as well. Sonic Prime, there you go, Netflix. So that's coming. Season 1 and Season 2 already confirmed. Last of Us coming to HBO. Full trailer just fucking dropped. We'll talk about it in a sec. Nier Automata is getting an animation. It's coming shortly as well. Let me just flick through.
Which it's surprising to me that took so long to get picked up for an animation.
Yeah. I still need to play through that game fully.
It's like made for anime.
Alan Wake TV show was announced recently. That's coming. Twisted Edge, we talked about that. A new Castlevania getting a spin-off. That's coming soon. Mass Effect got purchased by Amazon Prime Video to make one. The Fallout TV show is nearing the end of filming. Amazon Prime as well.
Yep.
Knuckles is getting his own spin-off TV show.
Fuck yeah, Knuckles. He's such a good character.
I wonder if they'll keep Idris Elba for that.
They have to. He's what made it great.
Ubisoft are in it again with Captain Laserhawk, Blood Dragon remix from the Far Cry Blood Dragon series. Why not? Driver, the TV show Driver, turned into TV show.
I liked Driver. Driver was good.
They've got Tomb Raider is currently listed as an animated show to come. And then we've got the Assassin's Creed TV show, which we mentioned in the previous one.
Yep.
Devil May Cry is getting an animated TV show as well. Apparently, oh God, they've got an update here saying that the live action Pokemon Netflix has entered production.
Oh, okay.
So that's be interesting. I mean, there might be some casting shit around. God of War TV show coming to Amazon Prime is fucking not, I guess. System Shock, if you remember that game, that's coming as well as Grounded, which I think is Honey to Shrink the Kids anyway.
Basically, or Stuart Little.
So yeah, and then like they go through. Oh wow, okay, so they've done their work here. So they've got a list here of shows that they were announced and then died. Let's just go speed run through this. Dante's Inferno, Detective Pikachu 2's on this list.
No, what?
Oh, it just says seems to be dead.
Sad.
Altered Beast, last heard of 2016. Spy Hunter, last heard of 2015. Fruit Ninja, 2016. Asteroids, 2015. Splinter Cell, 2015. Missile Command, that'll be like Battleship, the movie. I bet you didn't see that. That was Rihanna's acting debut.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was great. Ghost Recon, 2013. Fuck me. Watch Dogs, 2015. Tomb Raider 2. Geez, they don't know what's going on with that. It's on this list as well. Half-Life movie, also Dead. Hitman. Well, they made 2 Hitman movies. Dead.
Yep.
And that's it. I don't need to go for everything else. Everything good. But yeah, so fucking there's a lot. Like when I say that Edgerunners is blowing this, I just mentioned any of those things, all those things. Like they wanted to walk downstairs, they went down to the basement level and they knocked on that door. I said, "Hey, remember how we asked you to start writing that game to TV show? We're gonna need to see that script. We're actually gonna do that now." Yeah. Come upstairs.
Look, you talked about a lot of things. You didn't talk about that one thing.
What thing?
The trailer.
What?
The Last of Us.
I did. I mentioned it. I said we'll talk about it in a sec.
No, we need to talk more about it.
Yeah, okay, talk about it. Let's go.
It looks so good. Oh my God.
It's HBO.
HBO, so you know it's going to be great. And obviously HBO has worked with the actor who plays Ellie before.
Also,
she was in Game of Thrones.
The production crew is the guys from Chernobyl, which is like a disaster epic masterpiece. If you want to show a post-apocalyptic world.
They've got the grittiness down. So that actress is Bella Ramsey as Ellie, Pedro Pascal as Joel, Gabriel Luna as Tommy, which I love, Anna Torv as Tess, and then who was playing? Nick Offerman is playing Bill. Nick Offerman.
Yeah, he looks like Bill.
He does. He's basically Bill. Super exciting. I loved Bill in the game. He's one of my favorite characters.
Also, quick sidestep there. We mentioned on the last podcast that they're probably going to do something for Last of Us Day. They fucking dropped the trailer, as we called it, on Last of Us Day.
Yeah.
In Europe.
And just go watch the trailer. And like people have been doing amazing things and using the photo mode in the Last of Us Part 1 to like match up with the trailer as well. And like the side by sides look fantastic.
Yeah, in a lot of similar ways that Edgerunners has done for Cyberpunk. I feel like this is going to, I mean, it's retelling the story, so it's a little bit different. It's not adding to the world, but in terms of like retelling the story, looks pretty faithful to it. And I know that Neil Druckmann, the creator of Last of Us, has had a lot to say about how the show and the brand and everything's been treated. So
yeah, and I just played on stream The Last of Us Part 1. So in like the trailer and even like brief shots, I'm like, oh my God, I just played this. So exciting. So anyway,
yeah, it's a good time. A good time to play it. I did see some oh man, I saw it on a Facebook group that I'm in. Like it's like a EB Games Facebook group because I'm a level 5. We have a special Facebook group. Someone posted in there. I just finished The Last of Us Part 1. Do you think they're going to make a Part 2?
Well, sorry to tell you, man. It's already.
Everyone's like, it's out already. Came out a while ago.
It's just in a weird order.
It's like, no, I played Part 1. I want to play Part 2. Do you think they're going to release a Part 2? And everyone's like, it's out already. It's out. I know it's confusing that Part 1 just came out again, but Part 2 is also out. You know, people got upset that they called it Last of Us Part 1 because the first one wasn't called Last of Us Part anything. It was just The Last of Us. Like, oh my God, you guys are putting Part 1 on it because you want people to buy Part 2. Because I want the fucking people to buy Part 2.
Yeah, but also it like
it's a complete story. It continues the story.
And as a game that has come out after, obviously, you know, it's a remake of a game from 2013 and it's come out after the Part 2. Putting Part 1 on it clears up confusion.
Fucking oath it does.
For people who don't really know much about the series.
Yeah.
Because not everyone is like perpetually online and like a nerdy person who lives in a basement. There are casual players out there who will pick up this game and be like, oh, okay, this is part 1. That means I can go and buy part 2, or like, oh, part 2, I wonder if there is a part 1. Like, it just helps with chronological orders.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it.
Well, while we're talking about TV shows and like things that have come and gone and on again, if I said to you 6 seasons in a movie, you know what I'm talking about?
Community.
Did you hear that they're getting their
They're
movie?
getting a movie. It's in production. And most of the original actors have signed back except for Chevy Chase, Donald Glover, and Yvette Nicole Brown, but everyone else is back.
Chevy was never back.
No, he hated them.
He hated them. And I don't think Glover would come back if he did. So
he's too famous doing other things now.
He's sort of surpassed that. It's great. I saw Community's now got their own TikTok page, and it just keeps coming up.
They've been posting for months.
It just keeps coming up. 6 seasons in a movie, and that's all it says. And then go on to the next TikTok. I'm like, fuck off.
I was because they had made that account and they'd been posting clips for like the last few months, and I thought, this is strange. There's something gonna happen. Something's happening here, and like I'm a pretty diehard Community fan. And then I was right. I was right. 6 seasons in the movie. It's happening. And they also have a podcast called 6 Seasons in a Movie, or is it and a podcast or something that they've been talking about it. So that'll be interesting to listen to after you listen to this podcast if you're interested in hearing more information.
Yeah, it's good on them. I mean, it'll be whatever. It's fine. I only recently it's one of these things, right, where you know when people go, wow, I fucking love this show. Why don't they make a sequel? They must make a sequel. And then when they do make a sequel, it's kind of whatever. Anchorman's a great example. Everyone's like, fucking love Anchorman. They quote all the references, everything like that. They made Anchorman 2. Did you see Anchorman 2?
I never saw Anchorman 1.
This reference has been wasted on you. But like recently,
I've seen all the gifts. I'm a millennial. I know it's been gift to hell.
Oh my God. But all the gifts are from the first movie. None of them are from the second. I guarantee you.
Oh, there we go.
So,
you're in a glass.
But it's the same thing as like Super Troopers. I used to fucking love Super Troopers. Great movie, right? And then they're like, everyone's like, why don't you make a Super Troopers 2? Blah blah blah. The guys who did that, I think, is Broken Lizard Films. They did Beer Fest, and they did, I think it's like Cape Fear. It was like a slasher movie, and they were all okay. It's kind of weird though because it's all the same actors. So I'm like, oh look, the guys from Super Troopers are doing a scary movie. It's like it takes you out of it, so it's kind of whatever. They also were in the Dukes of Hazzards movie, doing like a cameo sort of thing. Anyway, they said, oh, we'll make a Super Troopers 2, but we're going to have to get, no one's going to bank it for us. We're going to have to get crowdfund it. So they crowdfunded it and they made it and everything else. I watched it finally the other day, a few months back. I think it was okay. It was nowhere near as funny as the first one. And I just kind of feel like it kind of takes away from the first one. So I kind of want to pretend that it doesn't exist anymore.
Oh.
And I feel like Community is sort of in that same way as well. Like they ended it with season 5 and then people were like, oh, you have to keep going. And they made a season 6. They had that weird thing where they went to Yahoo TV or something.
And it changed a bit. Like you could even like the camera angles and like the camera filming style changed. It was like it was a little bit jarring. But at the same time, people give a lot of crap to some of the actors who came in very late. A couple of the teachers like God, what's his name? He's in Breaking Bad as well, and he's Professor Witwicky. And people like gave him a lot of crap and saying like his character had no point. I think he was a great addition to the cast. Like he did not deserve any of the crap that he was getting. But people also get really attached to like the original actors of things. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. It's like,
that's always a risk. So it'll come out. We'll watch it. I don't expect groundbreaking stuff.
But I expect a lot of good references and fun.
Yeah, I just expect some references. I think the right way to do it, and you wouldn't have gotten it as much as maybe I did, but like when we went and saw the Dragon Ball movie, the newest one, that was nothing but someone who lives on the Dragon Ball subreddit and took all the fan moments and all the moments that have been talked about the most, and they put it in a movie format. Like a lot of people talk about Dragon Ball. And like a lot of people, when they think about Dragon Ball Z, they're like, "Oh my God, it took 4 months to kill Frieza." Like 4 months, those entire weeks where they just powered up. It's like, there's a lot of filler. And the one filler episode that they always refer to is this one where Goku has to go get his driver's license. That's the whole episode. And then in the movie, they mention how, oh, it'd be great if I had my driver's license. It's something Piccolo says. And it's like, he's referring to the episode that they roasted. Like, that's, if they do Community like that, where they just fucking roast themselves and just make jokes, like meta jokes the entire time.
They will. They were always very meta. And I think also since it's been quite a long time since they originally aired Community, and like there's been social changes that people have called on. Like, you said some really questionable stuff and had some questionable decisions in your early seasons, and I reckon they'll completely call back at that and talk about it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the same sort of thing where you see, like someone said recently, 24 is a great example. 24, the Keith Sutherland action, all American action hero, can do anything, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
it's like they tried to reboot that show, not reboot, but like bring it back. Like they did a couple of movies and stuff, and it was always like a lot of the problems that he had, that like time constraints and stuff from the early, they've been fixed by like drone technology and high-speed internet now.
Yeah,
it's like you don't need to get on this plane and go to this mainframe to hack it anymore. We can do that remotely. And it kind of just kills the whole show, because it's like
it does a little bit.
Time's killed it. We caught up with technology and we killed it.
Like a lot of problems in like movies and stuff from that are often made even now. You look at it and you're like, that issue could be solved with a text message.
Yeah, like a great example is like I've been watching, like I watched Better Call Saul, rewatch it, and that's a prequel to Breaking Bad, which is a 10-year-old TV show as it is. So we're talking like 90s, early 90s sort of thing. And the amount of times I'm like, oh my God, if they just called each other. And I'm like, oh yeah, they don't, like having a mobile phone is like a rarity anyway. And then they do, like they can't take a photo. They can't like take a photo on their smartphone and send it to each other on the internet. Yeah. It's just shit like that. Like they can't Google shit in their pocket. You know, it's that they had flip phones with antennas.
Yeah,
I'm like,
if you were lucky.
But then, like, if someone went and made that show now, based on now, a lot of those issues and conflicts wouldn't have happened, because quite simply, technology's fixed that problem.
Exactly.
Which is it's a dangerous thought, when like not so much for you because you're such a young, innocent individual.
I'm 27. I remember phones with Snake on them.
No, but I remember when there weren't phones.
I remember when there weren't phones too. I was like 5.
Like it's like I'd be like, okay, I'm going on my bike and I'm going now, and my parents would be like, cool. And they wouldn't have zero clue where I am or what I'm doing or who I'm talking to or if I'm coming home, or like they could never call me and find me or nothing like that. I was out.
And I've said this a lot as well, though. I'm glad I grew up when I did and not a bit later, because I graduated year 12 in 2012. And even in 2012, we weren't as reliant on our phones as we are now. So I think I escaped a lot of potential cyberbullying.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was a kid who did get picked on at school. Like I would have really had a worse time, I think, if I was more involved with my classmates via technology.
Yeah.
So I'm fortunate.
One more thing I wanted to bring up before we wrap things up, before fucking PAX next week. I just remembered PAX. Yeah. I'm just like having a brain aneurysm.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Couple things. There was a great post that I saw, and it was talking about how Black Adam, hang on, I need to Google something quick, but it's Black Adam, the Rock Johnson DC movie. It's coming out, I think, the 20th.
I think that's about right.
Yeah, so a couple weeks away. I wanted to just double check something.
Whilst you're doing that, I will briefly start back to the community topic.
Okay.
I will apologize. I got the professor's name really wrong. I've really butchered it. So before anyone comes at me, and I still called myself a fan. His name is Professor Buzz Hickey, not Professor Witwicky.
Witwicky's from Transformers.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, and it's Jonathan Banks, who was also in Breaking Bad in that.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's Buzz Hickey.
Okay. So I'm trying to find this fucking. All right, that's right. I just want to make sure it wasn't 2013 again, because I keep picking on 2013. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Black Adam was first started in 2006.
Oh, it's been in that production for that long?
Yeah. Dwayne Johnson was approached about playing Captain Marvel, who was later turned into Black Adam, because it was renamed as well, the whole thing, in 2007.
Holy shit.
Yeah. DC had a Captain Marvel. There's a whole thing. You can look into that. It's a name and that's the only similarity.
That's a wiki tunnel for me to go down.
Sure is. Anyway, that's coming out the 20th of this month, and they've just been ramping up their marketing and everything for it. By all counts, it sort of sounds like it's just going to be another DC movie, but I a reserved judgment until we actually see it. Having said that, the meme that I saw was that here we are ramping up Black Adam. Fucking Marvel came and took a big steaming pile of shit right?
Is this because of Ant-Man and the Quantumania or whatever?
No, it's
No?
because fucking the green bloody hornet himself. What's his name? Fucking Deadpool.
Deadpool's video with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds on his personal YouTube channel.
Yep.
Posted a thing where he's like, "Yo guys, sorry I haven't been talking much about Deadpool, but I had an idea." And then fucking Hugh Jackman walks past in the background. He's like, "Yo, you want to play Wolverine again?" He's like, "Sure, whatever." That was it. That was the whole video.
That's all you
Fucking
need.
more likes, more activity, more chatting than any of the Black Adam marketing.
Feels bad for
Destroyed by
Stupid.
Ryan Reynolds memeing, basically.
Yep. Oh my
Yeah, I
God.
put out a second video after that where it's basically him and Hugh Jackman chatting on the couch. But I fucking love this, right? So they're chatting on the couch and they're like, "This is what happens, blah, blah, blah." And then they just straight up chuck a music track over the top of it, right? Which means that anyone who's doing a reaction video to this thing is getting DMCA'd immediately.
Yeah,
And he
smart
keeps
move.
doing it. He keeps just cutting straight into DMCA music. And I've seen a few reaction videos. And like they have to quickly mute everything and then like talk about what it is said and stuff like that. Fucking New Rockstars did a lip reading to it because you can't hear what they're saying over the music. They did a lip reading to see what they were trying to say in.
Of course, new rock stars would. That's very them.
Am I excited for Hugh Jackman to come back as Wolverine alongside Deadpool? Yeah, I think that's going to be a fucking riot.
Who's not excited by Hugh Jackman?
That's going to be a riot. That's just going to be
man.
funny. And someone posted up on Twitter. It was a meme, and then there's just like a cartoon panel where it's got Deadpool digging up fucking Wolverine. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm that low. I'm digging back up for profits." It's like, someone make this the opening to Deadpool 3.
Please do.
Oh man, they have, because obviously it gets fanboys have everything to say about everything, right? They did come out and say, "Yo, Logan is still Logan. Nothing changes. That is Wolverine's story. That happens, whatever. Don't get your knickers in it. We're not undoing that. We're not making that anything other than what it is."
It's all saying.
It could be a parallel universe, could be whatever. Doesn't matter. But they just said don't stress about it happening. So, but I'm on board with it. Fucking, it's not going to come out until 24, 25 probably. I don't know how fucking old Hugh Jackman's going to be by then.
Oh my gosh, he's getting.
Well, he's been playing Wolverine since 2002?
Yeah, really, really early.
Man, still looks fucking phenomenal.
He does.
I wouldn't do hand stuff with him though.
I would. I'm a big fan of Hugh Jackman, especially though I'm one of those, because maybe it's because I'm a girl.
Oh yeah.
Big fan of like a lot of his musical stuff. So The Greatest Showman. We also talked about Prestige the other day.
I like the guy. I'd have a beer with him. I wouldn't give him a hand job though.
I would
Yeah, we'll
give everything to him.
Okay, all right, relax. Calm down. Anyway, if you were to give everything for this podcast, can you make sure you like, share, comment, everything else? We are on all major platforms. ZLBPodcast on Twitter. Shelby, you're streaming and doing TikToking.
I am doing a lot of things. Yeah, you can catch me on Twitch at Shellbunny. I'm probably not going to stream again till after PAX now. So not long, I guess, after you hear our PAX podcast, I'll be streaming again. But Shellbunny94 is my TikTok. If you are playing Disney Dreamlight Valley, I got some tips for you, or I've got some indie game recommendations for you. That's like my two things at the moment on TikTok. I also, if you go to my Twitter, which is Shellbunny_, I've got my link tree, which has all my links to everything on there.
Hell yeah. As for me, I'm in holiday mode, so I'll probably stream sometime before PAX, but I'm also streaming at PAX, 10 a.m. on Friday. I am first up, start of the show, streaming, no pressure.
No pressure. You're just carrying everything.
Just literally going first. How bad can I stuff it up, surely?
I'm just going to stand outside the glass and make funny faces at you.
ZombiesLvBacon everywhere, including Twitch. Please come and see me, because my audience that would normally watch my stream, A, aren't around at 10 a.m. in the morning, and B, are at PAX and probably can't watch. So I don't want to stream to nobody. So please come and watch my stream. Really appreciate it. And if you are coming to PAX, and maybe you're an avid listener who wants to get on the podcast, get in on some of this action, maybe hit us up. Maybe we could get you a spot.
4 p.m. Friday.
4 p.m. on Friday.
I'll put you in a sleeper hold and drag you in there.
Yeah, and look, just to fucking let's just put all the cards on the table. We might have something on Thursday night. It's not confirmed yet, but Friday night we are going to the Bethesda party, which I've heard is Redfall themed. That is that new
Exciting.
co-op shooter game that actually looks pretty fun. We also got an ORP meetup Friday night as well, so a couple drinky poos with the old ORP crew. And then Saturday night, we are going to the Fortress Gala event, so hopefully we'll be seeing a few creators there and a few people that we've seen for a while, so that'll be quite exciting as well. The TeamOCE meetup on Saturday afternoon. We have I am going to the Skull and Bones thing on the Saturday as well.
Yep.
The Sunday, we have the last event on my scheduled calendar, which is the Great Business Card Swap, which is at the IBIS Community Room at 1 p.m. on the Sunday, again from the TeamOCE crew. Great time to go and like swap business cards, or if you don't have business cards, come collect everyone's business cards, meet a heap of creators.
Please take my cards. I am excited about them. I made them myself.
Let me tell you right now, if you are meeting someone in person who have gone to the effort of going to PAX and making a business card, they are a half-decent creator. Take their business card.
I'm a half-decent creator.
Oh, yeah.
Feel valid.
So, very busy week at PAX next week. Until then, stay classy, and we'll, see you next week. If we don't see you at PAX, get ready for the PAX episode that you'll hear next Monday.
We'll see you next time, and enjoy all the recommendations of things to watch for the next week.
Enjoy. Goodbye.
Bye.